Welcome to SAT TV News. I am Larry Larrock, your presenter. In our top stories, HIV and AIDS Response Coordinator appeals on the public to get tested. Jamaica could earn billions in limestone industry. Antarctic rescue of academic Slocalski ship completed. And in sports, New Zealand outclasses West Indies in third ODI series. Details of these will follow. SAT Telecommunications Limited is in the process of reorganizing our channels. In this endeavor, some channels will be off temporary and new ones will be introduced. SAT Telecommunications Limited is pleased to inform you of a number of new channels. We have just added for your viewing pleasure Lifetime Movie Channel, Lifetime Real Women, Discovery Civilization, Discovery Science, Discovery Turbo, and many other new ones to come. We are sure that you will enjoy the new programming, which will enhance your viewing pleasure and provide you with many more channels. SAT Telecoms thanks you for your continuous support and understanding throughout this initiative, and we will keep you informed as the changes occur.
Yo, this is Ace Banton in SAT building, baby. You're watching SAT Telecom, that's the #1 choice. Boom!
Welcome back. 2014 was blessed with life on Wednesday, January 1st, 2014, with the birth of an 8-pound healthy baby girl. Faith Brianna Diliana Thomas is the first child and daughter of proud parents, Mr. and Mrs. Brian Thomas of Dalis.
It was not easy on my side at all. But with the help of God on my side, my mother, family members, right, and church members, and the help of some good nurses and doctors, are the one encouraged me to go through.
Mrs. Thomas said, giving birth for the first time was a very painful experience, one she will never forget. She said one can only know the true pain a mother experiences by going through the process of birth, but noted she received numerous support during delivery. What about the family? You have been encouraged by the family and the father of the baby?
Yeah, very, very much. I was on my side, my mother, my sister, and it's like he would be there every day. I'm excited to have my baby born. First day of the year, right? And it was a surprise because she wanted to probably surprise us, so she chose to come on that special day.
Mrs. Thomas declined our request for footage of a newborn. In more news, the search is still on for a fisherman who is yet to be found. 31-year-old Mr. John Lenny Sylvester, along with Mr. Jules James, both of Woodford Hill, went fishing on December 26, 2013, on an open keel boat in the Atlantic Ocean. Jules returned with the boat with the absence of Mr. Sylvester. Reports reaching the police indicated that at about 4:30 p.m. on that day, Mr. James, who was the boat's captain, was making his way to shore when he encountered some difficulty with the boat's engine when Mr. Sylvester fell overboard. Mr. Sylvester could not swim. He submerged and disappeared. Mr. James then returned to shore and reported the matter to the police. The Coast Guard has since conducted searches in the area but has not found Mr. Sylvester's body. The matter is still under investigation. In other stories, Liat has embarked on an internal refleeting and rebranding program aimed at improving customer service, according to its acting chief executive director, Mrs. Julie Riffer Jones. The airline has begun organizational restructuring to ensure that the right people with the right skills are in the right positions going forward.
We have embarked on a refleeting program at a cost of over $107 million US. And this is funded by equity contributions from 4 territories in the region, namely Antigua, Barbados, St. Vincent, and Dominica, and by a $65 million loan from the Caribbean Development Bank, and also through the sale of our old aircraft.
The transformation process has already begun with a fleet change expected to be completed by the end of 2014. She dispelled the law that Liat has a monopoly on air transportation in the region, stating that there are several other airlines serving the intra-regional markets and many operating within the Caribbean network served by Liat.
Over the years, we have had several airlines like Carib Express, Caribbean Star, and of course more recently Red Jet. And many of these airlines came and went. In addition, many of the major international carriers, JetBlue, Virgin, British Airways, provide transportation services in the Caribbean and compete with Liat on various segments of the market.
The acting CEO said it is very important that the countries of the Caribbean have a regional carrier like Liat and believes that each territory should contribute financially.
The low-cost carrier model, often proffered as the model of all models, is most appropriate in larger markets. Costs in the Caribbean are not low. Taxes make up a disproportionate share of the price passengers pay for a ticket in the region. In our estimate, it ranges anywhere between 35% and 50%. This ratio is increasing as governments seek more and more to use ticket and passenger taxes to finance airport development.
She noted, at some point, government will have to come to the conclusion that lowering taxes will reduce prices and in turn help stimulate regional demand for travel, increasing revenues for airports. In more news, Dominicans are being urged to get tested for HIV and AIDS as early detection is best for effective treatment. Coordinator of the National HIV and AIDS Response Program, Mrs. Julie Frampton says, the HIV and AIDS epidemic is not something that can be combated by sweeping it under the table, so we all have to be more proactive about it.
2013 for the National Program for HIV in Dominica. It has been one where we've had quite a bit of success as well as we have a few challenges. So when we talk about successes, we talk about establishing testing around the island as well as with one of our national entities that we work with in terms of Dominica Planned Parenthood. So in all our 7 health districts, you can access HIV testing and know your results within a day, as well as at the Dominica Planned Parenthood. So that has been something good for us. In terms of policy, we started work on our national policy for HIV. That is almost completed, it is in the final draft, and we hope we'll have it presented by the first quarter in 2014.
Mrs. Frampton noted they have also seen success in providing care for persons infected with the virus. They will host various training sessions for staff to keep improving on that aspect, as persons notwithstanding their sexual orientation or skin color need proper care and treatment.
We provide a level of privacy and confidentiality to our clients. We ensure that persons get the level of care that they need, quality care, comprehensive package of care. And this is our goal for 2014 as well.
She highlighted the importance of the cooperation of the public and their support, citing that HIV and AIDS is everybody's business and no one is immune to the disease. Whether you are infected, we are all affected. When persons test positive for the virus, Mrs. Frampton added.
All of us have a role to play. The church, the school, the families and individuals. We are all responsible for our sexual health, and we want everybody's support in terms of getting to 0 new infections in Dominica for HIV.
In other stories, the Dominica Employers Federation hosted its 44th annual general meeting on Tuesday, December 31st, 2013 at the Fort Young Hotel. Mr. Robert Tong, Vice President of the Federation, spoke on behalf of Mr. Clement Cathy, President of the Dominica Employers Federation.
This time around, I have the privilege to address you as co-laborers in the pursuit of development, employment, and enterprise growth. I have captioned my presentation when partnering seems the lesser evil. The Federation dates back to 1966, that is close to 50 years ago.
In December 2012, the Federation played a leading role to create the Dominica Business Forum, a group of 6 major private sector organizations.
There have been efforts going beyond the intent of the forum to see a marriage of sorts between the Federation and the DIC. This itself is not a new venture. Records show that in the early 1990s, the presidency of the late Dennis Laboussiere made clear its intention to amalgamate with your federation.
The Dominica Employers Federation is a national employers body on labor, employment, organization, and related social issues. And in court news, although the prosecution headed by Inspector Michael Loda made a strong case why 6 men charged with attempted murder should not be granted bail, Magistrate Candidate Judge opened bail in the sum of $100,000. Luke Fabian, Joseph Leta, Kwam Fountain, Jonathan Matthew, Jackson Williams, and Kevin George were jointly charged with the attempted murder of police officer Jeremy LeBlanc on 24 December 2013 at Castle Street in Roseau. During the incident, LeBlanc sustained multiple stab wounds to his head, stomach, and chest. The prosecution had objected to bail on a number of grounds, namely that 7 other suspects were being sought. They also objected on the grounds that if the men are granted bail, they would interfere with the investigations and possibly not make themselves available for trial. The prosecution was concerned that the instrument used in the violent attack would not be recovered. 3 of the 6 men were granted bail. Fabian was bailed by June and Maynard Joseph. Leta's surety was his father, Henry Leta, while Fountain was bailed by Oliver Grell. The other 3 defendants were remanded while they await a suitable surety. As part of the bail conditions, the men are required to report to the Roseau Police Station every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Surrender all travel documents, passport, driver's license, and social security cards, and refrain from interfering with the complainant and witnesses in the matter. They were warned by Magistrate Judge that if they were to commit any offense while on bail, their bail would be revoked. This has been the local segment of the news. Coming up next, regional highlights.